Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. A viewer named Chris asked me a very good question. He says, hey Uptick, since you've had both on the wrist, which of the Lange, Odysseus and the Romain Gauthier C would you buy if you had the choice? And wow, what a wonderful choice it would be to have. And the first thing to say is that both are made by incredible artisans from a different, very different region with different, different sense of aesthetic, surely, but both are amazing. I spent more time with the Odysseus, a bit more time on the wrist, so I could get a better feel for it. And I have to say, I just loved it because I love Lange. There's not many Langers with a blue dial, and one with a cool little complication, the pushers there. It's not, it doesn't come every day, and yes, people said, oh, they had to do it because they're part of a big group, but I think time proved that they made an interesting watch, and it is in high demand. And then, of course, they also made the titanium version afterwards and the chronograph, but Romain Gauthier as well did the titanium, and there's also a platinum version available. I didn't spend as much time with Romain Gauthier. I just had to quickly make a video. I wish I would have spent a week with it on the wrist because it feels a lot more like a foreign type of object. It takes the craftsmanship of the Vallée de Joux and then brings it to the next decade, the next century. And it's a watch that you would definitely imagine wearing if you were to take the spaceship that goes to colonize Mars. And it's definitely a watch that appeals to the watch aficionado, but especially the young cool guys, the Bitcoin guys certainly jumped on that one. But in terms of the watchmaking, what I love with Romain Gauthier is that they design everything, they manufacture everything, and then finish everything, and can provide that sort of work for other brands. Chanel has a participation in the company, so you get the ultimate bespoke. And you know, as I was wondering why GLC wasn't where I wish it was, and Romain Gauthier to me takes over from GLC in the Vallée de Joux, and making those watches with inventive movement, and the movement is just absolutely gorgeous with the bespoke wheels, the snail cam. The level of finishing is unbelievable. Of course, it's a manual watch, so won't be as practical as the Lange for an everyday watch, and the crown where it is placed will be a bit harder also to wind it. But everything is very, very special, of course, about the movement and the aesthetic of the watch. Comparing the two, therefore, is quite difficult. I think with the Lange, obviously, you get the more German look. I think probably more parts of it are done outside of Lange. I think that the case and the bracelet, but it doesn't really make a big difference. What's for sure is the Lange will be the more practical option of the two, but I think maybe the slightly less interesting. But I don't know. I can't really tell which one you could get bored of. If you could get bored of such an incredible piece, either way, the Lange sometimes, when I had one, I felt that this Germanic aesthetic was less endearing. At the same time, I'm not really attracted to the futuristic looking watches, the H. Moser, for example, style, and this Romain Gauthier is a bit more into that vein. Yeah, let's not forget Romain Gauthier has two incredible watches, the logical one and the Insight in a more classic look. It's great that they've gone for something very different for this, and the titanium version is so unnerving on the wrist because it doesn't feel like you're wearing you know what, 70,000-80,000 dollar watch, or maybe less, maybe 50,000-60,000, but anything beyond 30,000, I think it's insane. You want to feel it on the wrist. I think you feel it more when you have the longer. What's for sure is that I wouldn't pay over retail for the longer. I think at retail it is worth it. I think the Romain Gauthier at the retail, yeah, you're paying for that very the craftsmanship, the uniqueness of it, and it brings you into a club that's very special. One thing to note is that it doesn't have any complication, and there's no date, there's no day, and yeah, it's manual wind, so it's less practical. And both are really so different. It is very difficult to choose one or the other, and really you gotta spend a week, a month with them. But yeah, it's very much that. One more futuristic, avant-garde, the other one a safer bet. And I kind of feel myself a bit in the middle of those, and I guess yeah, the Patek Philippe Nautilus is probably that happy middle, and that's why it is so popular. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Can you advise Chris either way? Maybe some of you have both or have had both. Very, you can't talk badly about either of these watches, either of those houses, because both are making very few watches, and the way they make it is impeccable, of course, and the people working on those are artisans of their craft, great watchmakers, and yeah, it's super difficult to choose. But yeah, if I have to choose one that I think would be with me for the longest time, I would take the longer, because yeah, I really bonded with it for the little couple of days that it was with me. I really felt at home with it, a bit more comfortable, and it feels like a watch that you can really wear every day. The Romain Gauthier feels a bit more fragile, a bit more precious, and will be less practical, but certainly would be a lot more interesting if you want the kudos from the edgier member of the watch clubs, while the longer is the more recognizable, the more obvious, and maybe I'd feel a bit silly showing off with it, because I think it is well known now, and people know the value of the watch. It is difficult to get. There you go, but really you can't go wrong, and you gotta feel it in your heart which one is the best. And I want to thank, of course, Backwatch department who lent the watches to me to try and to experience and to show you on the channel, of course. And actually, I believe still one Romain Gauthier is available there with salmon dial. So good chance with this video to let you know, and you can go to backwatchdepartment.com to know more details. All right, guys. I wish I had a definite answer. Can't really go wrong. I would go for the longer personally, but I'm not you, Chris. You gotta figure out from what I've said what really resonates with you. Bye bye, guys.